All right, so here John and I are at the start of the climb. I'm just gonna finish flaking the rope here, and what that does is allows me to get John, since he's climbing second, to tie into one end of the rope, and I'll get my end on the top. And it also lets me know that there's no knots and that the rope's gonna feed out properly while John is belaying me here.
Okay, Dave, I'll put you on lead belay.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get the gear ready for the lead here. I'm gonna need a good selection of cams and nuts. I like to put the stoppers on my harness here, and I usually will put the small ones up front and the larger ones right behind it. I'm gonna need a handful of slings and quick draws. I like to use these doubled up shoulder slings. It gives me more options. And same thing, I'm gonna rack those up on my hip here. And this is all personal preference. I like to put mine on the right side. So I'll wear my gear on a shoulder sling and it'll be hanging on my left side. I like to put the longer double length slings on this side, and the side where I have my cams hanging from, I put the sport draws here, and that's just a personal preference. It's less for the cams to get stuck in when I'm climbing. If I have these here, sometimes the cam tends to get stuck in there, and then my sling ends up doing funny things like that. Yeah. So I just like to keep them separate for organization.
How about in actually making the trad draw like this in your slings?
Okay, well this is a shoulder length sling like I was talking about that fits over your head and shoulder, perfect, just like that. But it's nice sometimes to make them up like a short, like a one of these style sport quick draws. And the way we do that is just clip 2 carabiners, one into each end, and I take the one carabiner and pass it through the other, and then hold this loop that I've just created and clip that carabiner back to it. And I have a regular quick draw. Another thing this allows me to do is if I have to clip this to a piece of gear or something and make it longer, I can just unclip one carabiner, get any one of these loops that's hanging down, and pull it nice and clean like that. So I take a couple sport quick draws too, not too many, mostly the longer slings, they're more versatile, and a couple of sport ones for clipping the stoppers, should I place those, or maybe if there's a random bolt here or there. A couple of those doesn't hurt. And for my gear, I like to leave it all on a shoulder sling like this. And the way I have it racked here is I put the smallest cams that are the least obtrusive up towards the front of my rack and put them in size so they gradually get to the bigger sizes as we go to the back. That way when I'm climbing, the large clunkier sizes are out of the way to the back and the less obtrusive ones are up in the front here. Won't bother me as much.